at-large city councilor, and I am the chair of the Boston City Council Committee on Education. Today is October 28th, 2024. In accordance with Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023 modifying certain requirements of the open meeting law and relieving public bodies of certain requirements, including the requirement that public bodies conduct its meeting in a public place that is open and physically accessible to the public, the City Council will be conducting this hearing virtually via Zoom. This hearing is being recorded. It is also being live streamed at boston.gov/city-council-tv and broadcasted on Xfinity Channel 8, RCN Channel 82, and Files Channel 964. Written comments may be sent to the committee email at ccc.education@boston.gov and will be made part of the record and available to all councilors. Public testimony will be taken at the end of the hearing. Individuals will be called on in the order in which they signed up and will have 2 minutes to testify. If you are looking to testify, please email our Central Staff Liaison, Ron Cobb, at ron.cobb@boston.gov for the link, and your name will be added to the list. Today's hearing is on docket number 1351, order for a hearing to discuss the extension of free museum passes exclusively for Boston Public School families. This matter was sponsored by Councilors Murphy and Flynn and was referred to the committee on September 11, 2024. Today, I am joined by my colleagues in order of arrival: Council President Yu Jen, Councilor Liz Breeden from District 9, Councilor Erin Murphy at large, and Councilor Ed Flynn, District 2. I'd like to hand the floor over now to my colleagues for opening remarks, beginning with the lead sponsor and original co-sponsor, and then proceeding in order of arrival for our other colleagues. In the interest of providing all of my colleagues more time for questions and discussions, I'd like to offer the lead sponsor and original co-sponsor to share opening remarks, and then we'll proceed. Oh, sorry. So I'll hand it over to the lead sponsor, starting with Councilor Erin Murphy. You have the floor.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you again for your patience. As a proud Army mom, I went out at 9 for the kickoff of the Army Week and the flag raising, which wasn't going to start till 10, so we rushed up, so thank you again. But so my opening statement, thank you for this hearing. I've been advocating since January for the expansion of the free museum passes program to include all families in Boston. I'm excited to announce that today, we're holding our City Council hearing, which I filed to discuss this important initiative. My goal, along with Councilor Flynn, has always been to ensure that all school-age children in Boston, not just those attending BPS, have access to these enriching cultural experiences. And I know from a hearing we had a few months back and just talking to families who have taken advantage of this program, that it has been a success for those who have been able to participate in it. To me, this expansion represents a significant step toward inclusivity and equity for our city's diverse families. As the only teacher on the Boston City Council, I bring decades of expertise and a unique perspective to this conversation around education. And I firmly believe that every child in our community deserves the opportunity to engage with the arts and culture regardless of the school they attend. It is essential that every family in Boston, particularly those who contribute to our cities through taxes, can benefit from this program. And I appreciated when the mayor at a press conference, or was quoted in a news article a couple months ago, did commit to expanding the program starting in January 2025. And I want to stress the importance of a robust fiscal plan to support this initiative that she has committed to expanding. So today I am looking forward to ensure that this expansion is both feasible and sustainable. And that's why I invited Ashley Grofenberger, Chief Financial Officer for the City of Boston, James Williamson, the Director of the Office of Budget Management, and Stephen Chan, the Senior Advisor for Partnerships, to join us at this hearing. Their unique perspective and understanding of the city budget and how this will be funded is important for the purpose of this hearing today. I know we did have a hearing a couple months back, which we focused just on the the success of the grants that were funding the original pilot and those families who participated. So I'm looking forward to hearing from those from the administration, because they can address key financial questions and help us understand the path forward. I look forward to this productive discussion and appreciate everyone's continued support on this exciting initiative as we expand it. So thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilor Murphy. Councilor Flynn, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And thank you for the panelists for being here. Thank you to Councilor Murphy for her leadership on this important issue. I know that the city is committed to expanding the eligibility to ensure every student is able to enjoy these wonderful museums that are located throughout the city. A lot of constituents and Boston residents lobbied us for a long period of time, including the Cathedral High School, which is in my district in the South End, and Cristo Rey, which is a school in Dorchester. I know there's other schools, but both of those schools, they wanted the opportunity to attend these wonderful museums. Most of the students, I believe, are students of color at these schools, private schools, and a lot of them do receive reduced tuition for the support of the community. But I think it's important that we provide these first-class options to these first-class museums so that every child can go and visit, whether they're a charter school, Metco, parochial school, private school. As I mentioned, majority of them are students of color throughout the city. I'd like to find out mostly about what the financial plan is to ensure that this plan is enacted and what financial support the City Council could provide. So I'm also looking forward to hearing from city officials as it relates to the budget, relates to appropriations, relates to the cost. So I am looking forward to hearing from the city's CFO explaining the process of funding and expanding this program. I know the program is doing well, so I want to say thank you to the museums that are here and city officials are here. I know that's going well, but what I'm looking for in this hearing is mostly the financial cost and who's paying for it and getting more of the financial details. So I would ask the city officials to focus their comments on that part of Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilor Flynn. I'll turn it over to the rest of my colleagues in order of arrival, starting with Council President Lujan. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good morning, everyone. I just want to thank the city for their work on this program and for the expansion. You know, as a young kid growing up in Mattapan, exposure and going to our public schools, exposure to these museums and assets here in the city was so foundational to my growth and my understanding and my appreciation for the city of Boston. So I just want to thank the Children's Museum. I want to thank all of the foundations and the philanthropy involved in making this program what it is. I want to thank you, Chief Elliot Ortega. And I look forward to hearing from all of you on the successes of this program, limitations, and where we go from here. Thanks, everyone. And thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Council President. Next up, we have Councilor Braden from District 9. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good morning, everyone. I will keep my comments brief. I think this is a really valuable program. I'm excited to hear that we're expanding it to other school-age students in the city of Boston. And I really, as Council President Louis Jen just mentioned, just like to get some better insight into the nuts and bolts of how the program works, the cost of it, and also how it dovetails in with our pilot community benefits program. So if there's any, because, you know, the arts and culture sector is another important piece of our nonprofit infrastructure in the city, and just thinking about how this might dovetail with our community benefits in our pilot program would be worth investigating as well. So thank you. I look forward to the conversation.
Thank you, Councillor, and thank you to all my colleagues. At this time, I'd like to provide an overview of the panelists the committee invited to testify on behalf of the administration, starting with Ashley Grauffenberger, who is the Chief Financial Officer of the City of Boston, James Williamson, Director of the Office of Budget Management, Cara Elliott Ortega, who's the Chief of Arts and Culture, Stephen Chan, who's a Senior Advisor for Partnerships in the Mayor's Office. The committee also invited 2 members of the leadership from the Boston Children's Museum to join the panel to share their perspective as a participating institution in this program. We invited Carol Charno, who's the CEO and President of the Boston Children's Museum, and then Charlene Morrell-Smith, who's the Vice President of External Relationships and Corporate Development for the Boston Children's Museum. For the panelists who are here with us today, I'd like to ask each of you to just state your name and title for the record. And once everyone has introduced themselves, we'll move to opening remarks. So we can go ahead started. And the panelists we have here today, if you can just introduce yourselves. I'll see Councillor Flynn. Before we do that, do I see your hand? I think you're muted, Councillor Flynn.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, just one question. I know you mentioned the invited guests, including the Chief Financial Officer in the Budget and Appropriation team. Are they actually on this conversation? Are they on this meeting?
I do not see them on the Zoom, Councillor Flynn, but they were invited as to our procedures. And then right now, whoever we have with us here today, as panelists will introduce themselves.
May I make a suggestion, Mr. Chair? Can we give them an opportunity to join the meeting? Maybe we take a recess, but my questions are relating specifically to the financial aspects of the plan. I would like to ask the appropriate CFO to respond to some of these questions. She was invited, but are we able to take a recess to see what time they're coming on at?
We'll be in a brief recess. Well, actually, before that, I just want to make sure I get Councillor Murphy's questions.
Okay.
And
thank you.
Councillor Murphy.
Related to that, thank you, Councillor Flynn. I request the same thing, and I do want to highlight and uplift that we filed a hearing order several months back, and we did have that in the arts and culture hearing. That was when the grants were separated from the education. And I know the arts and culture team was there, and we did have a conversation. I know Councillor Braden and Louis-Jean mentioned just seeing the successes, and we did have good data from the 17F I submitted just about the successes of it. But this hearing is directed, directly towards the funding to ensure that the promise that it's expanded is going to be able to be funded. So the focus is definitely more on that. So I'm hoping we can get the panelists. And I'm sorry, Chair, because I know this has happened, I think the 4th time now that I have filed something in the Education Department. And I appreciate your leadership and having this hearing. But again, they have not sent the administration. We had the hearing on special ed services, and the special ed director didn't come. We had a hearing on the athletics use at the Reggie Lewis Center, and the athletic department and BPS didn't show up. So it's a pattern that continues to happen. And I appreciate the Children's Museum for being here. I'm sorry, but I do think it's important that we take a break and make sure that the administration who can answer the important questions we have are here for this hearing. Or I ask that we suspend and reschedule. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Murphy. So what we'll do is we will take a brief recess. I will check it in with the administration to see if the invited panelists are showing up this morning, and then I'll come back with an update to everyone. And I also do want to mention that we do have Chief Elliott Ortega on the line, who's representing the administration as well. I don't know if you can speak about finances and that stuff. But I do want to acknowledge that we do have you with us today. So we'll be in a brief recess, and thank you everyone for your patience. We'll be coming back in a few minutes. All right, welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience. I was able to, I'll give a brief update as to what's going to happen, then I'll turn it over to the lead sponsors for any statements that they may have. So we did get a notification that both the Chief Financial Officer, Ashley Grauffenberger, and the Director of Budget Management, Jamie Williamson, are not going to be here today. So with that, I have spoken to the lead sponsors. They want to make sure that the proper personnel is here for this hearing. So we are going to reschedule this hearing at a later date. But I do want to make sure after this, I will give the lead sponsors an opportunity to say a statement, but I also want to be respectful of everyone's time and people taking time out of out of their schedules this morning. So I do want to give the opportunity to anyone from the Children's Museum if they want to say a small statement. If you wish to, Chief Ortega, you as well. And then I also do want to give an opportunity for anyone who is signed up to public testify to be able to provide a public testimony, and then we will adjourn today's meeting. So, so sorry for that, but with that, I'll pass it over to the lead sponsor, Councilor Murphy.
Thank you, Chair Santana, and thank you for explaining where we're going forward on this. It is important that this conversation has the proper administration here to answer. We know from the last hearing we held, and we talked about the grants that we spent over $1 million for the pilot program that was extended to our BPS students. We know to expand it to all of our children in Boston that price will have to go up. So it's important that we find out where the funding's coming from. 300,000 was ARPA dollars, and another, rest of it came from nonprofits and philanthropy. Amazon, Highland Street Foundation, Bar Foundation, Jim and Kathy Stone, just to name a few, had made sizable donations and to make sure that this program could get off the ground. So the conversation going forward has to be, how is it funded? So I appreciate you rescheduling and making sure we have the correct people in front of us, and also for respecting the Children's Museum. I do just want to be clear. Hello, Carolyn, Charlene, love and all the great work you do. So in no way is this disrespect to you, but Intergovernmental made a decision without Councilor Flynn and I being part of that they would include the Children's Museum at this hearing. We did not include you as panelists, not that we don't think that your input or your knowledge of how the program has been going so far isn't important. I know you're close right up there with the Museum of Science. You had 3,817 visitors, and the data was great breakdown that I had requested through my 17F about, the thousands of kindergarten and 3, 4, 5-year-olds and older participating in this program. All good stuff, but for us to make sure that we can continue offering it to our BPS kids, but also all of our students and children in Boston, we do need to hear from the city's finance department. So thank you, Chair, and I look forward to the rescheduled hearing and hope that the administration respects you as the Chair of Education and sends us the people that we need to get these answers. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Murphy. Councilor Flynn, if you have a brief statement or comment, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I also want to recognize the dedicated and professional team from the Children's Museum who I've worked with for 7 years, and I want to say thank you to them for being inclusive and welcoming to so students across the city. My wife and I love going to the Children's Museum and supporting the Children's Museum, and every time we're there, we're always learning something new about the various programs the Children's Museum offers to our young people, and looking forward to continuing to work with both of you, Charmaine and Carol. But I want to say thank you for being here. I do want to apologize for the scheduling snafu, but thank you for everything that you are doing.
Thank you, Councilor Flynn. Before I turn it over to public testimony, if we have anyone signed up, I do want to give an opportunity for the panelists that we do have here. Anyone from the Children's Museum, I see Chief Eli Ortega. If you have any brief comment or statements that you want to get out of the way, please feel free to unmute yourself and speak now.
Thank you so much, counselors. Maybe I'll just say really quickly that we're excited to come back anytime and talk about the program, which we have extended through the calendar year, which we're really excited about. I'm excited about the data that's coming in, and we are having a lot of productive conversations right now about what that next phase might look like. Yeah, whenever we get this rescheduled, we'll be happy to do that. And thanks to the Children's Museum for being here. And maybe I'll just add that we're also getting some feedback directly from families who have been participating, and feedback in multiple languages, all really exciting to read. So just a lot of enthusiasm over here, and I'm looking forward to working with everyone on what expansion will look like.
Thank you, Chief.
And I'll just add, first of all, thank you for all your kind words about the Children's Museum. And also thank you to the city's commitment to the arts and creating this BPS Sundays program, which is going to expand, as Cara mentioned. I just wanted to note that through October, we've actually had 6,429 total visits, of which 2,200 are Boston Public School children. The other thing that's important to note is 41% of them are children who have visited for the very first time. So this goes to show you that I call it the special sauce of how this is being administered through BPS in the city, where families are being contacted in their native language and also are being personally invited one at a time, which is something, of course, museums aren't able to do. So this is what's made this so successful. And again, I just wanted to second Councillor Flynn's comment. The Children's Museum is totally focused on inclusivity. And of course, we have the Dollar Sunday program and many other programs, but the BPS Sunday program really is a great addition to the free and discounted that we already have. And we are really committed to contributing our own resources to the project and to ensuring that it's a success in its next phase. So we are happy to join again. If you would like us to join, just let us know. And I wish you all luck as you figure out how to get this done for more kids. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I just want to echo my colleagues' comments on how amazing the Children's Museum is. I've gone ever since a child, and as mentioned at the top of the call, my last time was last year, so as a candidate. So just appreciate all the work that you do on behalf of our city and for all our children. With that, I'm going to look over to Ron. Do we have anyone who has signed up to public comment?
Yes, we have Steve Hollinger.
Okay, so we'll take public testimony right now, and then we will move forward with adjourning this meeting. So if we can promote Steve, and we'll give them 2 minutes.
Hello, thank you for allowing me to testify. I'll be brief. My name is Steve Hollinger, a resident of Fort Point, and I just wanted to bring up a few points about this program that are concerning to me. It was introduced as a pilot, not a program, as Councilor Murphy said. It was announced as a pilot, meaning that Mayor Wu announced it to allow for a period of data collection, a period for the museums to look at their finances, and to come together to figure out next steps after the pilot ended. It wasn't announced as a program, as Councilor Murphy said. And a pilot deserves some respect in that regard in terms of ability of Mayor Wu to expand, contract, or cancel the program. And I'm a strong supporter of this program and really appreciative of the museums. The council has every right to challenge Mayor Wu, but the council and the councilor specifically who went on a firestorm about this program not being expanded to all children did so immediately after, within hours, as far as I remember, of Mayor Wu giving her State of the City address. And she should have been allowed at least a week to be celebrated for this program. Instead of people within hours of her State of the City running to the press, and I see the earliest I could find is January 14th, 4 days after her State of the City, Councilor Flynn criticizing the program in the press. And I appreciate you, Councilor Flynn, but I think you guys have been unfair running to the press immediately after her State of the City. And finally, on my last point, last week, Councilor Flynn announced a very well-regarded program, a call for a hearing to discuss financial literacy for BPS students. Nowhere in his hearing order did he suggest that that program should be expanded to all students. There are programs for BPS students that are important, and we need to support our public schools. And Councilor Flynn, I appreciate that program. But again, I'm pointing out some hypocrisy, and I hope you will address some of the issues I've raised here. Again, I thank everyone for this program and Mayor Wu for this program and the museums. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate you testifying. Do we have anyone else who wants to testify?
No, Mr. Chair.
Great. Well, with that, I just want to thank again all of our panelists for being here, and our lead sponsors for introducing this, and my council colleagues for also being here, and also central staff for all the work that you do to put these hearings together. As I mentioned, this hearing will be rescheduled. I will work with the lead sponsors and the administration to find a time that works for everyone, to make sure that everyone can be here. But really appreciate everyone's patience and everyone's work on this. So with that, this hearing on docket number 1351 is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.